Okay, over the next few vlogs, if you ever see people's vlogs and it's like what I eat in a day, I'm gonna do a few things like what they eat in a day. So the first one is being a vegan for 2 days. And just as a little preface, I was vegan for 6 months back in 2015, and well, you'll see what happens over the next few days. We had a successful walk, and now it's lunchtime. Where are we? Chekhov's. What did you get, yes?
Goat cheese salad, baked goat cheese salad,
And
flat walnuts and pie.
And because I'm vegan for the next foreseeable few days, I got roasted vegetables, beetroot, hummus, basil, pesto and spinach. Few sprinkles of this. This is nutritional yeast, aka hippie dust. It's an inactive yeast, so it's actually good for you, and there's B12 in it. Brown bread, and then just seeing this mold on it. Anyway, I'm not eating that anymore. That was an olive oil vegan spread. I'm gonna have some of this instead, some sweet and salty popcorn. I've never tasted this before, so let's taste this. Decent enough. Play a handful of that, and now I'm going to bed. I'm tired. So I went in to get some lunch into Maxall there, and so there's a Chopped, but when you go into Chopped and look for like a vegan sandwich, or well, you can get a vegan salad, but like it's way too cold to be eating salads, and the soup costs $7.50, which I'm not paying $7.50 for some soup, especially if it's from a petrol station. Yeah, there's actually nothing in there that I can get for lunch on a cold winter's day. I got a cappuccino made on coconut milk, and then I got some water as well. I now have to go to my NCT. Lunchtime. Mange 2, beans, rice, tofu, onions, sriracha, ginger and garlic, miso paste, soy sauce, and all done in about 6 minutes. So during the clinic I have pink lady, a pear, a banana, a big huge orange. Remember that the date that I had from yesterday? I have one left, and I finish at 8 o'clock tonight. So yeah, that, and then I have this to go. So I've had 2 cups of tea today, which is probably half a litre. I've had a half a litre of sparkling water, and then I'll try get through all this as well. You saw my lunch, and then when I go home I'll have maybe dinner. I'm not that hungry today for some reason, but I suppose I have to eat. And then I'll have another chamomile tea. Did a run, 6-mile run, which was, I think I averaged like 7:20 pace. Yeah, it's been a busy day, so house viewing, NCT, run, clinic, as in this clinic, go home and eat more. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to have at the end of the day for my vegan diet is some homemade granola that has like coconut flakes, dried cranberries, oats. So there's only a handful here, like a tiny handful. And then I have this. There's 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Then I have 5 strawberries kind of mushed up. I have mint. This actually tastes pretty good. If you're thinking about using apple cider vinegar, then use this. It's actually pretty good. You don't have that like oh sorry, there's limes in it as well, but it doesn't give you that taste that apple cider vinegar normally does. Do I think veganism is good? If it's between yes and no answers, then no. I think it does have its benefits, like plant-based foods, plant-based proteins. Your focus is on eating more fruit and veg, things like that. But this is the main thing. B12, it comes from the soil. And animals don't actually contain B12, like they don't make B12. But because they eat the plants from the ground, they're consuming the soil as well, and the soil is where the B12 happens, because it's a bacteria basically, like a vitamin bacteria. So when the cows or sheep or whatever eat the soil as well as the grass or whatever, they consume B12, stores in their muscles, then we eat it, and that's where we get B12 from. Years ago, you would pick the vegetables up, you give it a quick rinse, or sometimes not even rinsing, you just brush it off and you eat it. You're consuming the B12 because you're eating the soil as well. But because we wash everything, we don't have B12 naturally in our diet. And to get our water, years and years and years ago, you'd collect it from the local stream or the local well, and that would contain B12 as well. But now everything's filtered, it's really clean, there's no B12. So that leaves you with having fortified foods, like your milk is fortified with B12. Now, what's the quality of that B12? You're eating fortified, or you're taking vitamins, that's B12 vitamins, or injecting B12 into you. How is that better for you, taking a synthetic version of B12 to having animal B12, or I suppose getting it naturally? When I was vegan for the 6 months, the first 4 months was in America, and that's the reason why I turned vegan, because like the meat industry, the chicken industry, the animal industry over there is shockingly bad. I had no idea what I was consuming, as well as the chicken and beef. The chicken didn't even have a taste. It was like eating textured water. It was like chicken textured water. I didn't know what was going on. Even the milk over in America, 20% of each litre is pus, because they're milked when they have mastitis. Mastitis is an infection in the udders, so where the milk comes out. 20% of the milk is pus. They're milked while they're on antibiotics for their infection, and then so you're consuming the antibiotics, you're consuming the pus, you're consuming white crap basically. So all this was like, okay, I'm just going vegan because I don't trust anything. Then I went to France, and it's a whole different ball game over there. Then I looked up what happens in the Irish industry. I contacted Avonmore, I contacted all those to see what the actual stipulations of it, when a cow has mastitis, what happens. They're quarantined. They are given antibiotics, but they're milked every day because the milk flow, it's much better than the American system. Anyway, I had this constant headache all the time, and my diet is pretty good, and I was taking B12, but I had this constant headache, and I just thought it was that my body was trying to detox from animal products. But it was killing me. I was getting enough protein, I was getting enough of everything. I had this craving that went on for a week that I wanted raw fish. I was like, no, I must abstain from animal products. Anyway, I went and got some sashimi. I woke up the next day and I had loads of energy. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that, let's say if you find veganism good for you, then go ahead, be a vegan. But for me, I felt crap. It's not good for me. Having a plant-based diet is good, but veganism, I think it's too extreme. Anyway, the next one is, what'll the next one be? The bro diet. I'm gonna do the bro diet. I'm gonna have like protein water. I'm gonna have protein cornflakes. I'm gonna have everything. Just like protein, protes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, do whatever you have to do. But subscribe. Bye bye.